Hey, what's up everyone? I'm JBFlintlock. In this video we're going to talk about acquiring a muzzleloader and some of the options that are out there for you to, get a muzzleloader and get into the sport. So we've talked about in my last 5 videos some of the different things about muzzleloaders. We started at the very basic, like what is a muzzleloader? We talked about the ignition sources, some of the different calibers, what might be right for you, and that's kind of been a theme among all these, is helping you to decide what might be right for you and what you want in your next gun. So your options basically are buy, have one built, or build it yourself. So let's talk about them. Buying, for example. You can buy a new one off the shelf, but you're really limited on the styles that they have available, the options as far as locks, triggers, things like that. But it is a great option. You can find one. It's probably right in the middle in terms of expense. I know some of them can be pretty pricey right now. But it's probably the middle option as far as budget. So the next option would be to have one made. This gives you, pretty much limitless option as far as selection of everything from, some of the style things, butt plate, trigger guards, sights. You can pick and choose everything you want as you work with your builder and have one built. You can also select to kind of go with a theme or a style of an old one. So basically your builder is going to say, we can build one that copies one from a certain era of time. You can definitely go that route. The only word of caution that I give to having one built is it may not, when you get the final result, if it doesn't fit you, it's very difficult to make modifications to a finished gun. If you build it yourself, as you go along, you're going to be feeling and handling that gun all the time, and you can make modifications as necessary, to that. And I'm kind of biased to that, building your own, and I'm going to explain a little bit why. But let me finish my thought on having one built. As far as budget goes, that is going to be your highest budget option. So you have not only the parts to pay for, but you have all the labor, and also it's not a big time saving. Some of these gun builders can be backed up for sometimes a year. So if you're willing to wait and you have the budget to do it, that's great. You're going to get a really good product when you're done, and something that you can definitely be happy with. The last option is to build. Now this option kind of has 2 subsets, one of which is a kit, and there are some great kits out there that you're going to end up with a great product when you're done. One downside is with a kit, it's hard to change parts out or make substitutions, things like that. So you're kind of limited again on the style and fit. Building from scratch is the other option. That's what I chose to do years ago. My first gun was a kit gun. Great gun, had it for a lot of years. I built it when I started when I was 12, finished when I was 13. Great gun, I used it for a long time, and then as I grew, my needs changed, just the fit changed. I wanted something more. I really got into the sport, and so I elected to go with a long rifle. Now I built this one here I have next to me on a really tight budget. I just flat out didn't have the budget to pay a builder to build it for me. So I bought the best quality parts that I could find in terms of lock, barrel, and triggers, and everything else, just kind of came as it was. I got a piece of wood for free and worked it down and built it completely from scratch. So every step of the way, I pick that gun up and it feels a little heavy, or it needs a little bit of wood off here. The length of pull was a little long, so I was able to trim it, and I had total control of everything that was going on in the process. And for me, that made for the best gun for me. Now, it is by no means a fancy looking gun. It is not pretty at all, but I'm proud of it. So I'll show it to you here. If you've watched my my trick shooting videos that I did this summer, and I'm going to have some more as the weather breaks, but I use this gun. This gun I named Fancy because it is, well, it's the total opposite. It has, the trigger guard is 3/8 refrigerant copper that I hammered out flat on the ends and tied it on. There's no butt plate at all. It's just raw wood back here. The barrel is taped into the barrel channel. There's acrylic glass, that got spilled out on the side, everything like that. I didn't sand it. The most I did is draw file it and scrape it. I was gonna finish it, but as I went along, I got it really close, and then I decided to start shooting it and see if I needed any other further changes, which is a great thing to do. But it shot so well for me that I couldn't bear to make any changes for fear that it, might not shoot as well. So I've been shooting this since 2013, and it has a lot of rounds through it, and I've had to replace barrels and things like that just for the number of shots been through it. But it's won a lot of competitions. It's definitely earned its keep for about a $500 gun. So in terms of budget, doing it yourself, building from scratch, is probably your best option. That's if you don't account for your time. There is a time commitment to it, but if you're not in a hurry, or if you have the spare time, maybe you have the time to do it. I know for me, when I was, have a 40-hour-a-week job, it can be, life gets in the way sometimes, and it's hard to get done. But in all honesty, it only took me a couple months to throw it together and get it into firing condition. Now, to take it to the next step and finish it and put all the the accessories on it would take more time. But I mean, in the relative scheme of things, what do you really need all that for? So that's just my own opinion. Nothing. I'm not trying to knock guns that are pretty or anything, but for me, it's function. That's key. So it's a great shooter. That's what I care about the most. And I use it and I take it to seminars and I show it to people because I want to show them that they, I don't want them to be intimidated by these very fancy, ornate guns and thinking that that's what you need to be a muzzleloader shooter, and that's just not the case. There's no judgment here. No one looks down on me because of this gun or anything like that. It's as long as it's safe and sound and stays together, really it's the extras don't really matter. So I would say if you're even the slightest bit handy, you can complete a kit. Those are great options, and I think that's a great way to go. So that's my encouragement, and I hope that you take that away from this video. if there's anything I missed, you know, feel free to leave a comment below. Reach out to me on my website. It's www.jbflintlock.com. There you'll find, you know, links to my other videos. You can see some of the stuff I did over the summer, as far as some trick shooting things. And you know, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that you're out actually, you know, watching it and appreciate the content that I'm putting out. Also, if you wouldn't mind subscribing so that you can keep up with, you know, the next, you know, series of content that's coming out. So in my next video, I'm probably going to do something on the basic supplies that you're going to need. So now we've talked about all the guns, you know, all the things about guns. You've got a gun. Now, what do you need to make it shoot? And we're going to get into the loading sequence and the cleaning, you know, sequence and everything like that. So definitely subscribe so you keep up with what's coming. As always, thanks and safe shooting.